All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Sunday, the 5th of March, 2023. For you, this was a really short streaming day. For me, this was a really long day because I had a normal first stream, but then after that, I've been in my office all night doing all kinds of behind-the-scenes work, in regards to the business and tax filing and all kinds of crap. It's not great. Good news is I got a lot done. Bad news is it's not completely done, which I knew there was no way in only one night I was going to get all that stuff done. But I got enough done that at least I got the ball rolling. I'll probably have to take another stream off later this month in order to try to hopefully finish it up. We'll see. But anyway, let's talk about what did happen today. Okay, first of all, I just want to say thank you because for those of you who've been checking out DSP Reacts, it's doing well every week. Basically, we're getting more members over there, which is great. We actually got a new record of members this morning of 71. That's over 10 more than last week, so that's great growth. And I'm wondering, we can keep that momentum going, would be stupendous. Of course, I was only looking for like maybe 4 or 5 new members this week, so I'm very happy with what's happened over there. And you guys are continuously watching the videos over there. Thank you. Appreciate that. It looks like people in general are still liking the DSP versus the Internet show, so that's good. And I do an announcement. 2 things essentially happened in the last 24 hours over there. Number one, the threads have been posted up that if you're a channel member on DSP Reacts, you can now nominate the videos that'll be watched on next week's episode of DSP versus the Internet. So do that. But in addition to that, just moments ago, I posted up the poll over there only for members to vote on the next long form React event that I'm doing later this month. It's the last weekend of March, either the 25th or 26th. It hasn't been determined yet because one day I'm going to be doing the long form one and one day is DSP versus the Internet, whichever we decide. Okay? Basically, it has to pair in with the release of Resident Evil 4 Remake. I don't want to be going like days not playing that, you see? So, vote. And if you're interested, what are the nominees? Here's what has been selected. 2 people I'm well aware of and would like to know more about, and 3 people I know almost nothing about. So Shane Dawson, the Channel Awesome Story or Nostalgia Critic, H3 HD Productions or Ethan Klein, the second follow-up documentary to Wings of Redemption that continues the story after the last one we watched, okay? Or Ice Poseidon, okay? The only thing is if you guys overall vote for the Ice Poseidon one, it's quite short, so we might have to figure out something else to do that day, whether it's like another follow-up Ice Poseidon video or something, or instead, maybe do like a mini react to something else. We'll see. But those are the 5 choices. If you're a channel member on DSP Reacts, head over and start voting now, because your votes will determine what we do, and then we can start formulating that event and figuring out exactly when it'll be. If you're not a channel member over on DSP Reacts, you can still become one, and then you can vote. So you can control that if you become a member today, all right? So that's youtube.com/@DSPReacts. Thank you for that. Okay, that being said, excuse me, what did we do here on DSP Gaming today? Well, I uploaded a new short this morning that's based off of Wolong Fallen Dynasty. And it's funny because this is actually one of the more watched ones that I've done, and only not even 12 hours, like 11 to 1,200 views and climbing. It's pretty pertinent in regards to the respawns of the game, which are horrible. Give it a look. It's pretty funny, okay? Then, on the Level 1 podcast today, it was more of a laid-back, chill show where we talked about my initial thoughts on Wolong. We also talked about, the future of the game and if I'm going to continue to play it or not, and ideas if I don't play it, what I will play instead. We talked a lot about the ideas for the big-scale React that I want to do later this month, which is how we came up with those ideas for me to do the poll tonight. And there was a lot of interaction. It was a good podcast overall, okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to do that we didn't get to, I want to talk about my birthday bash celebration. Every year we annually do a special marathon on my birthday or just before or after it as a celebration. And this year, there's no members goal or anything that's going to tie to it. Instead, it's just going to happen. I've decided we'll just do it, okay? No more of these goals to get these things to happen. Instead, let's just do them. So that's awesome, but what do you want to do? Should we do a gaming marathon? Should we do something else? I don't know. We didn't get to talk about it on the podcast because we ran out of time. I'd like your feedback. If you leave feedback on this video overnight, I could talk about that feedback that I got on the show tomorrow morning. So please leave comments. Let me know what you think. So then we played Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Man, I am now 7.5 hours into the game. And let me tell you, man, my opinion on it is not getting better. Just being honest, today, the end of the stream kind of broke me to the point where I was very frustrated with this game. So, not to say that anything in there was super annoying, but it's like the level design. It's confusing. It's not intuitive where to go or what to do. Yes, there's exploration, but when everything looks exactly the same, it's very frustrating. I would say Neo was actually, it was much easier and better to figure out what to do in Neo. In this one, it's just like you're wandering in circles. Everything's the same color. Everything's washed out. It just doesn't look very good, quite frankly. And it's weird because there are stages that look good, but it's not usually like the normal stage. Like there's a village. And this is your hub village where there's a blacksmith and all this. It's very colorful. Then you go to the world you're going to play and it's like, oh, it looks like shit. I don't know what happened with that. I fought a couple bosses today. I'd say one of them wasn't so bad. It was funny because I'm fighting this boss. I think it was the 4th major boss for the story. Literally, this boss reminds me of Vicar Amelia, at least the way it looks and moves. Reminds me of Vicar Amelia from Bloodborne. And I'm fighting it, and the thing is not hard at all. And then all of a sudden, it has an insta-kill attack. That's very hard to parry. So you die. Okay, let me try again. Fight, fight, fight. Oh, I'm doing really well. Insta-kill attack. Oops, I missed the parry timing. Just die again. Start over. Every time it hits you, it's an insta-kill. And it wasn't like I was massively under-leveled, because the way this game works, when you play through a stage, a story-based stage, okay, or any stage, I guess, you're supposed to be killing enemies, but also finding the regular flags and the hidden flags. And the more you find, the more you level up with morale. So when you actually fight the boss, you're more level. If you rush through the stage and you don't look for any of the optional flags or anything, the boss is going to be way over leveled. It's going to be very difficult. So speedrunners, you're actually make the game harder for themselves, okay? I didn't speedrun. I got to this boss with a reasonable level to fight it. And every attack it used was okay, normal, and then, oh, insta-kill attack. I was like, how do you not understand that in 2023 that's not fun, that's not challenge, that's just cheat? It's bad game design. No, I don't want to do a boss fight for 5 minutes. I get to the very end, and then you do a cheap insta-kill attack. I don't know the parry timing yet. Start from the beginning. That's idiotic. It's like amateur night game design. And in 2023, Team Ninja should know better. They already made 2 Neos. So if you're going to copy Sekiro, then copy fucking Sekiro. Don't throw in cheap instant deaths. And they have. It's bad. It pissed me off, legitimately. So then we get to the 5th major story stage. We did a side quest in there. We went to the 5th major story stage. And this is what broke me, okay? The boss of the 5th stage doesn't seem tough, but it's large. It's a giant boss. It basically covers the screen. When it attacks, its arms or tendrils are actually passing by the camera. So essentially, you need to time it for your parries, and you need to kind of learn the pattern and know, even if you're not going to be able to see the full swipes that it's doing, you still need to be able to time the parry to stop it from hitting you, okay? The problem is when you're fighting this thing, the frame rate dips. So the game's supposed to be a smooth 60 frames. For the most part, it is. This particular boss, the game is dipping 15, 20 or more frames, and it's varying between, say, like 30 to 60, and it's going up and down during the fight. It's not just my capture device doing it. It's actually capturing what's happening in the game. It makes it impossible to parry right, because when the frames dip, the timing changes. You see? It's true. And when you have less frames, it's actually harder to do things than when you have more frames of animation. So if it was a steady 60, maybe this boss would be very fair and easy and a steamrolled boss, right? You just beat it once. But I'm trying to beat the thing, and I can't get the timing right for any of the parries because the frame rate keeps dipping. And it's funny because when the frame rate is 60 frames, I am parrying. And then all of a sudden, you'll see it start to sludge and trudge, and now all of a sudden, I can't do it anymore. I spent probably 20 minutes on the boss, and I was like, dude, this is terrible. Like, this game is fucking so bad, because you look at the potential of what it could have been, but whoever designed it wasn't competent. They made a lot of errors. The wonkiness of the combat, the wonkiness of the camera and controls, it's very finicky, it's not polished, you're falling off of ledges, there's no way to climb back up quickly like there is in Sekiro. Like, everything in the game makes you wish you were playing Sekiro. I mean that. Like, every moment of the game, you're like, well, in Sekiro, this was done better. Well, in Sekiro, this was done better. And some people are like, well, it's not Sekiro. Well, it's trying to be. It's got a very similar combat engine with the staggers and the parries. It's almost the same game. The difference is they added in some more RPG elements with the equipment and magic. But outside of that, it's definitely the combat engine of Sekiro with some extras. So make it at least as functional as Sekiro. It's just not. It's an inferior game. And it pisses me off that I'm trying to play it and I'm getting owned by shit that I can't control. Sorry, a cheap insta-kill in the middle of a boss fight when you don't know how to parry the attack because you just saw it for the first time is a beginner's trap piece of bullshit. It shouldn't be in the game. A boss where the frame rate tanks and now all your parries get mistimed is unacceptable on a current gen console. Now, some people are saying the PC version is atrociously bad, the Xbox Series X version is just bad, and the PS5 version is flawless. Bullshit. If we're all buying the same game, we should all get the same experience. Just because people are playing it on Game Pass on PC and Xbox is not an excuse for it to underperform and play poorly. That is horseshit. It should be the same experience across all three platforms. This is not acceptable. So you're telling me if I bought this outright on PS5, this boss is a relatively easy boss. But because I'm playing it on Game Pass on Xbox Series X, now the game I have to suffer. You know what this reminds me of? Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 3, I played it on Xbox One. It was the same shit. I got to that Pontiff boss, Pontiff Sulivan. The whole game loses frames, runs in slow-mo, and you can't actively dodge or do anything you're supposed to be doing because everything's delayed. Same thing here. I need pinpoint accuracy for these parries so that I can beat this boss, and it won't let me do it. So, what the fuck? Right? Like, seriously, like, what else can you say to it? It's unacceptable. So, yeah, today the game really agitated me. Now, I have committed that I will play one more stream of this game on Tuesday. That will happen. I'm beating that stupid boss, okay? But unless I get a dramatically improved gameplay experience on Tuesday, I'm going to have a real hard time being convinced to keep playing it. We've got other games people want. For example, the new Metroid Prime remaster we could try. Or people actually said to me over the last couple of days, instead of this game, which is obviously a FromSoft knockoff, why not finally start my New Game Plus run of Elden Ring? And I was like, why not start my New Game Plus run of Elden Ring? I actually legitimately couldn't counter that with a reason why not. Like, we're in no rush to finish it. It could go on hiatus when we need it to for new releases, right? It's a better game than this one I'm playing. That's for freaking sure. And people can help me with this new build. I don't even know what I want to do. I told you maybe a magic build because I don't want to do jump R2 the whole playthrough like I did my first one. So maybe that's what I should be doing, right? Maybe I should. In which case, why do I care about this, right? So what we'll do, we'll play it one more time on Tuesday. We'll see what happens. And if it goes well and I am impressed and I get past this nonsense, then maybe I'll keep playing it. But if not, I think it's time to drop it and do something better because, there's no commitment here to play a full playthrough. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not a good game. I think Neo was good because it took the Dark Souls formula, it innovated. Changing of weapons in the middle of combos and stances. Being able to have switching between styles, because you also do like your turn into a demon or whatever. And in addition, responsive controls. Remember, Dark Souls does not really have responsive controls. It's purposely delayed. In Neo, it wasn't. So there was like all these significant changes to the game engine that made Neo good. This is literally bad Sekiro. Like, that's the difference. They should know better. They made 2 Neos. How do you not know that this is inferior? It's not different from Sekiro. It's far inferior to Sekiro. I'm having a hard time wanting to play it. All right? So let's see what happens. Give me your opinions. Watch the videos for yourself and understand what you're seeing is actually what I'm seeing. Like that frame rate dip during boss fights is I'm actually seeing it on my TV too. It's impossible to react to this shit. Okay? So I love your feedback. All right? Now here's what we're doing tomorrow. Chill stuff. Tomorrow, it's a level 1 podcast where we're going to talk about my birthday bash and try to figure out exact things we want to do for it. Okay? Then Hogwarts Legacy continues. We're starting a new season, Winter. All new side quests, new plot. It should be very fun. And then on the late stream, Oblivion continues with more Thieves Guild. Okay? My final streaming day of the week will be Tuesday. And yes, that will be more Wolong, maybe the final stream. And actually, I take that back. Now I've screwed up the schedule for tomorrow, and I really apologize. Tomorrow is Hogwarts Legacy and Like a Dragon Ishin. My bad. It's definitely Like a Dragon Ishin tomorrow night. I'm actually craving more. We got to a better part in the story, and I can't wait to continue it. So Like a Dragon tomorrow night, then Tuesday is Wolong Fallen Dynasty and Oblivion. Okay? One last thing. I feel a burp stuck in me, and that's really annoying. One last thing. Tonight is the new episode of The Last of Us television series. It's episode 8, and it's supposed to be the episode with David and all of his survivors group. And guess what? Guest starring Troy Baker. Ooh, I can't wait. So, tomorrow after I finish all my streaming, I'm going to record my review of that episode and upload it over on DSP React. So if you want to be part of Troy Baker Day, check that out tomorrow night. All right, guys? Thank you all so very much. Have a good night. I know this was a longer daily wrap. I had a little rant there. Thanks for watching. See you in the morning. Peace out.